check. 1, 2. This is the Chu Down Show with Chuy Gomez. Chuy Gomez.
Let's get started, shall we?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm in Vallejo, California right about now, home of major artists like Confunction, Her, E40, Mac Dre, Baby Bash. But if my directions got me right, as I'm looking at my map, this dude is buzzing like static and we about to go talk to LaRussell. So let's see what's going on with the good peeps here. All right? It's not every day we get to eat in the backyard, but today we are blessed to hang out with LaRussell.
Come on.
What's up, baby boy?
What's happening?
Man, it is amazing to see your growth come along, brother. I mean, you are definitely on fire, and it's a fire you created from little smolders of heat. How does that feel, brother?
It feel good. It feel good, man. I'm back here with Chuy Gomez. You hear me?
In your
And
home.
so in my home, and something we built. You feel me? Like this was all just dirt and rocks, and to be what we sitting on now, you know, it's incredible.
But I mean, this journey, like, at what point in your life did you say, you know, I want to create something. I don't want to be a part of something, but I want to create something, because you created your own space. Now, we love the independency of the Bay Area. We've all seen independent artists do the things.
Right.
But for you to build something, how did that fire begin?
This all started with me booking my own shows, you know, being independent and trying to find venues to accept my show and what I wanted to build. And that's difficult to do early on when you're not selling hundreds of tickets and people don't believe in your vision and you the little indie kid from Vallejo who no one knows, you know. So I got a lot of negativity in doing that. And I got tired of asking somebody for permission to do what I wanted to do with my life and my career. So I built this so I don't got to ask for permission no more. You know, when things come like this and they say, hey, I want to do this thing with you, I can say, come to my home. You know, like it allowed me to now extend the olive branch to another creative and to my team to be able to cultivate something of their own.
Now, as you've created this and brought it to your home, um, that's a big thing to do, to allow people in your space, because this is your comfort zone. This is where you kick your shoes off.
Yeah.
You walk around in your drawers.
Yeah.
And to now allow people in your space, where does that put you at ease? Like, now people know where you lay your head at.
You know, to me now it's even more of a protected space than it's ever been. There's a certain value of respect that comes from when a fan who admires you gets to enter a space where they know your family is and you grew at, and it's a certain level of just energy that resonates here, and it becomes a protected space. Like you can't come here and do nothing, you know, like the community, this space means too much to the community.
And I always say, we all we got. So we got to look out for each other. And I see that that's very well, you know, entwined in the neighborhood, because as we pulled in, people are like, you know, it's like, we don't see that car. Whose car? You know what I'm saying? So that is a beautiful thing, that you guys look out for each other here. Now, as a youngster growing up, since there were so many artists out of Vallejo, were you listening to them, or what were you listening to as a youngster?
Of course, Dre and 40, you know, coming out the V, and everybody who was in the Thea's Nation wave. But I had an expansive palette. You know, my pops was selling DVDs and CDs for a long time, so I had access to unlimited music. We used to have a spool, and I would just go in and pull CDs and find, like, that's how I found In a Major Way. Like going through the CD spool, and I pulled out, and I used to pick the ones I wanted to hear by the album cover. And the cover was like, as a kid, you know, that cover hits you like, what is this? And popping that in, you know. But yeah, I just had a insane palette of music that I could explore.
So something that somebody tuning in right now would not expect for you to say, I mess with that. What's an artist or a group that you just like find relief, sanity, calmness in? What do you pop in when you're not listening to rap and want to get turned up?
if I want to get turned up, I'm listening to rap. But if I'm just like on my chill wave, um, Aloe Black, Mr. Probs, Wave. He got a song called Wave After Wave. I really love. There's a song called All Yourn by Tyler Childers that I really like too. But yeah, I be like all over music. You know, I seldomly listen to rap.
It's funny. We had that conversation on the way here. Said, "What do you listen to?" I said, "For me, I like to listen to '80s funk and soul." So for me, listening to, Gap Band, Confunction,
Yeah,
listening to, Luther Vandross, it's just a soothing
yeah,
space for me, and I don't have to tell anybody this is me because they know me.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
And this is where I'm at in a nice zone.
Yeah.
And so it's just funny when people just see you and assume something.
Hmm.
Or they watch you on TV and they're like, "Oh, that's the hip hop guy because he's on KMEL." I did 20 years of KMEL, so
Yeah. Right.
I'm the hip hop guy. No, I'm the oldest guy. I'm the funk guy. I'm the R&B guy. I love music. I listen to a ton of Mexican regional music. So me going home and listening to Ramon Ayala or Los Tigres del Norte, the people like, "You like that?"
Right.
Yeah, that's what my mama brought me
Right.
up on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just funny when people just paint a picture on their own of you.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So as you're going through life now and you've discovered you found yourself, because sometimes it takes a long time for somebody to
Yeah.
find themselves. Now you're in your comfort zone. You found yourself. You know what you like. Who do you want to see yourself maybe collabing with on something that you haven't reached out to or they haven't reached out to you?
Charlie Wilson.
Hey,
That's my
funny.
that's my number one
Right,
now.
right?
Charlie
Okay.
Wilson.
Nice.
That's the only one we're going for. You know, I'm a big fan of music in general and a lot of people, but Charlie is the one that is like, I have to get that one.
You're listening
You
to
know, we
Outstanding
did
on the way
we
here.
did
Yeah.
we made a record with Montel Jordan back here
Mm-hmm.
in his backyard. And I was taking my daughter to school the other day, and This Is How We Do It came on. And I just had a moment where it was like, man, I have a record with the man who made this song that means so much to my childhood. And I own it, and my family owns royalties in it, and my team. Like, that was such a special moment. So, like, those artists, the legacy acts that just I grew up hearing, those are the ones that really mean the most to me. But Charlie Wilson is the one, like, we get Uncle Charlie, I'm done. I did my thing.
Right. That's awesome, man. So here in your space, man, do you like get a chance to just relax at this point, or is it just a heavy grind because you're still not where you want to be?
Yeah, I'm not really in relax mode yet. You know, I'm still hustling. There's so much more I want to do and build, and I want for my family and my team and my people. So I'm not in that relax mode yet. You know, I'm still after it.
Good, man. Chase it, man, because we are definitely supporting your movement, man. We love what you're doing. I love the fact that you brought some of the OGs through here. With Richie Rich being through here. I saw Snow the Product.
Spice
earlier,
One.
popped in, Spice One.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some of these guys, we had a good part in the 90s when I was,
Yeah.
doing our thing. And so it was awesome then to see what was happening. But it also, I love the fact that the new generation is like tapping in with the likes of Pilo and I Am Sue and yourself, just, building their own lanes
Yeah.
and carving out their space in history at this point. You know what I'm saying? So that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. What's something that the folks don't know about you that you care to share that maybe you had never really thought about sharing about yourself? Because you've given a lot of yourself.
Yeah. If I didn't think to share it, then it probably wasn't to be shared.
Right.
You know, I share a lot of
You
my
do.
life and what I do and my experience. So anything that's unshared just ain't for them niggas to know.
And that's funny you said that because as we were talking on the way here, we're just kind of collabing and talking about different things, life and music, and we're listening to some of your stuff, and we're just going through it, and it's like, when you're sort of vulnerable, when you give so much of yourself, it's like, even with myself, like I've been around for over 30 years in this music business, you know what I'm saying? So people get to know you and your Uncle Chuy.
Yeah.
It's like you're not the guy from the radio. Now you're the guy.
Your family.
Your family.
Yep.
And you being on both CMC on TV for 30 years, being on KNL and now 102 Jams and just doing my thing. I've always been where the people are at because I think I am the people. The people are me.
Yeah.
Because we are one. And with that being said, it's like, people are getting to think that you're like the neighbor,
Cousin.
the cousin. You know, it's like, you know,
Yeah.
they feel like, you know, you guys kind of grew up together or
Right.
whatever it may be, and they, you know, and you've given so much of yourself.
Mm.
Does that feel weird for people to walk up to you and say, LaRussell, oh hey, come
Right.
here, oh my. Does that feel weird to you? Or no, not anymore?
You know, I've adjusted. I've acclimated myself to fame in a way I never thought. Giuliano,
Yes, sir.
Got
this
the
Chef
goodie.
Jules.
Giuliano.
Yeah.
Look at that.
What we got,
We
Jules?
got some Cali style lobster rolls.
Ooh.
And
No way, no way. We're gonna dip into this in a hot minute. But let's continue the conversation, my brother, because you know, as you are telling me, you know, it's become now.
Yeah, you know, I've adjusted to it, but it's still those moments where it's like I gotta remind people that I'm a human and I'm not whatever the fuck you see in your head and in your mind when you see me, I'm not that. I'm just me. You know, because there's a hysteria that it creates sometimes. Like I've had a guy literally do the most and I had to like remind him and he told me after, he said, you know, that has never happened to me. Like that's how excited I was to me. Like I lost it. Like that has never happened to me as a human. And I'm empathetic to those situations because I know what that could be like. I never met a famous person or a person even successful when I was growing up, you know. So to have someone in front of you that's me, that'll shake your hand and hug you and talk to you, it could be just a crazy experience.
No, it can't be because, and that's what I'm saying, because it's weird as a human being. You and I, we're walking down the street, and whether you've seen me on TV or heard me on the radio, or you saw me sitting next to LaRussell, it's like, you know, you get almost a superhero
Yeah.
persona,
Yeah.
which you're not.
Right.
You know, you and I are still just regular old human beings. And
Right.
it's like I tell people that, yo, I'm just like you. I eat and poop just like you,
Yeah.
right? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I love the fact that they acknowledge you. Sometimes it can be a little overwhelming. And the only thing I put a hold on is like, if I'm having a meal with my family, please don't interrupt that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of awkward. You're sitting at, you know, Denny's or you're sitting at
Yeah.
Red Lobsters or wherever you're sitting at, and you're about to have you a nice meal. Here comes somebody tapping the back. Can I take a picture?
Right.
See, I'm sitting with my family, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's got to be a little bit of respect there, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's tough because, like I say, I understand where people be. You know, it's like a once in a lifetime thing. You know, so I'm always kids. I always give the pass. Adults is like, bro.
Yeah, you
You'll
know
be
better.
alright.
Yeah, you know better.
You'll
Come
be
on, you
alright.
know better, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything we should talk about that's coming up with LaRussell?
Lil Jon album on the way.
Word?
Yeah.
The whole album?
Come on, man.
Produced by?
Super Bowl.
What?
You know, Lil Jon has made some of our biggest hits out the region, and he gave Too Short, you know, a new life, and 40 a new life, and he's about to give LaRussell a new life too.
Wow.
And we got a really special project that's just, man, it's that feeling, it's that sound that we came up on, and that energy and the love and the fun. But it's like, man, it's just different this time. It's even grander because I'm in a different position than, you know, both they were in during that era, and just where we at in the world, like it's necessary. So yeah, me and Lil Jon on the way.
So stay tapped in, connect. LaRussell, it's love. Thank you for allowing us in your house, my brother.
Come on.
This grub.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get in on this.
These chips homemade.
Ooh.
Like Jules make it himself.
It's got bacon in here with the crab and the lobster. In the building, and we're talking to JPZ today, man. JPZ.
yes, sir.
Good to
yes,
meet you,
sir.
my brother.
Likewise,
Hey,
likewise.
man, yes. Now you've been out here putting in work, man. But let's take it back. What first put you on the map, man? What you think? I know that you've been doing this and you love doing what you're doing, but what put you on people's radar?
As far as out here, for me, would have been E40, straight out the dirt. Yo Gotti, NBA YoungBoy. It was a big moment for me. Actually, the first person that I actually even knew in the Bay Area was E40. So just being on Instagram, posting beats on Instagram, you know.
And that's how you got his attention?
Yeah, that's how I met
Really?
E40, yeah.
Crazy. So,
Yep.
folks, if you're out there producing beats, man, you know, shop them around. Let people hear them, because
That's
some of the
right.
biggest misconception, I think, when you guys are producers and you make beats,
Yeah.
you're scared somebody's gonna jack your stuff.
Right.
And so
right.
you don't want to put it out there. You want to put it out there, but you're hesitant.
Right.
That didn't scare you when you was putting out beats and you were showing them off, or were you just DMing them beats? Or
No,
you
it
posting
did.
them?
It did. I was super hesitant.
Right.
You know, and the crazy part about it was I was really reluctant as far as like the Instagram thing.
Right.
But so like my nephews, they're younger. They're from the social media generation. And they were encouraging me. Like I almost quit. One of my nephews got killed. I spent a lot of time reflecting and just questioning music in general. But my other nephews were telling me like, you got to get on social media. You got to use hashtags. This was back when hashtags was really still
was really a thing.
Were working.
Right.
And so I was super reluctant. Copyright issues, didn't like being on camera. And the crazy part about it was the first time that I turned the camera around and used hashtags and played one of my beats, like despite myself, like E40 started following me. I didn't even know how to work Instagram yet. I had to follow him back. I didn't know what a blue check mark was, any of that. This is 7-8 years ago. I know now.
Right.
But yeah, man. Yeah. So
it's
I was reluctant.
amazing, man. So when you're out there and then you start putting yourself out there and then you get the attention and the E40, what does that do for your ego?
Ah, man, hyperinflates it.
Right.
But you know, it didn't. For me, it didn't. You know, it didn't happen like that for me either. It took me. I was consistent because he started following me, but I didn't follow up for a couple days. And a friend of mine was like, "This is the opportunity of a lifetime. You specialize in Bay Area sound and mob beats. That's your favorite shit. That's how you got his attention." He said, "You got to keep going." So I tagged him in 3 beats a day for about a month until he DM'd me. And then I started sending him to his email. We talked on the phone, but it was a couple months. It was hard work, you know. 40's gonna make you earn it, that's for sure.
So as a guy from Kansas City, you say you specialize in the mob Bay Area beats.
Yeah.
What were you listening to before you started producing? Were you a fan of the Bay Area already?
Oh yeah. You know, my mom's got a VHS tape of me dancing in the mall to MC Hammer.
Wow.
When I was probably like, you know, I'm dating myself, but you know, I was 6 or 7 years old. So yeah, like I loved MC Hammer when I was a kid. And then later, Too Short, The Click, 40, Dilla, Mac Dre, Richie Rich, 415, you know.
So when you started coming out here, at what point did you decide, I'm going to make the Bay Area my home? Being from Kansas City, is this where you felt you could get more out of music?
Yeah, definitely more opportunity, but I just loved it, the culture. You know, the culture is very similar to Kansas City. You know, the slang, the cars, it was like Kansas City on a bigger level, so I felt at home. But, you know, just like the weather, the food, the women, the weed, it was, you know, probably the second or third time I came out here, I was like, oh yeah, I'm moving.
So fast forward now, you're making beats, you collaborate with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Who was the person that you got a chance to connect with that just was, for you, very rewarding?
That's a great question. Recently, I did a project with Tech 9 from Kansas City. So being from Kansas City, Tech's the biggest thing we got, you know? So to be able to do a whole project with him, and then we did a song with Lil Wayne, and I loved Cash Money growing up. So Wayne and I are similar in age. I think Wayne's a year older than me. So I grew up with Lil Wayne. He was like Michael Jackson for us. So we recently did a song called Yoda. It's on the album 5816 Forest. We shot a video. I got to meet him. I got to hang out with him. So not only did I get to make music with Tech, but also with Wayne and meet him and do the whole visual and everything. So super rewarding. It's almost surreal.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
So now let's go talk about you and not Lil Wayne, but you and Tech 9, because he is from Kansas City.
Yes, sir.
And you grew up listening to him.
Yeah.
And now being able to rub elbows and parlay it. And what questions do you have for him? Because there's got to be questions.
Yeah, definitely.
What did you ask him that you had been dying to ask? As a fan, as a producer, as a businessman, what was that one question that you needed to get off your chest?
Man, I don't know if I had one.
I'm sure there was many.
More so what I ask people, because I ask, how did you do it? how'd you do it? You know, and if you know anything about Tech and his business partner Travis and Strange Music, they pretty much have built the largest independent business model in the game.
Well, you got to applaud him because he does his own concerts,
Yep.
his own merch.
Yep.
He's got his own vehicles.
Yep.
So he does everything. He's self-contained, and you got to love that about him.
Yeah.
But let's go back to the question, though. What did you want to ask him? What did you want to learn from him?
Man, I really just wanted to know how he did it.
Uh-huh.
And it's never that simple.
No.
You know, it's never that simple. But one thing Tech did tell me is, you know, he was in several deals before he partnered with Travis and did his independent thing. He was signed with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, and then later QD3, Quincy Jones' son.
Right.
And both they didn't know.
Thank
Oh,
you, man.
yeah.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful.
I don't know if you guys need something.
Thank you, brother. They didn't know how to market him. They didn't know what to do with. This looks great, by the way. This looks great. They didn't know what to do with him, and so I think. Let me get back to the question. I asked him how he did it, and he said it takes money. It takes money. It takes a machine, and to be able to meet Travis and really see behind the scenes of what they set up was incredible. So the question was for me, which I ask everybody and anybody that knows me, I'm an inquisitive mind. How did you do it?
Right.
Because I want to figure out, you know, what it takes. But in order to get that machine off the ground, it took money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you yourself, what does that inspire you to do now or change as you attack this game? Because it is a business.
Yes.
At the end of the day, as much as you love it, and we tell people, I would do this for free, but we don't do it for free because it is a business, and you want to
Right.
make sure you get your paper because it's your talent.
Right.
So what have you done or changed since then?
So my whole goals based on working with Strange changed because I was really hoping to find a deal, get signed, you know, the music dream everybody has, right? But when you understand it, like what a lot of the game that I got from Tech and that I was able to get from 40 and Bila is this independent and ownership is the route, especially in the streaming era. And for me, what I understood about myself is I'm what you call a 100%er because I mix, master, produce, write, rap, sing, shoot my own videos. So I can keep my overhead super low and I can be profitable by putting my music out independently because I do it all myself. It costs me nothing. So like, I think the biggest thing that I was able to learn from them was independence and ownership of your masters is everything. It's everything because you're in control of, I learned the business, right? Your intellectual property, what you guys are doing, you're creative. And so not only are you in control of it and you're getting the money, you get to decide when it comes out. You get to decide what to shoot a video to, what to put your money behind.
Right. You have to see what the company wants to do in regards to what they think is the next single.
Yeah.
It's whatever you're feeling or you're vibing and you're seeing like response to. It's like, that was not a song that I expected to do what it's doing now. Even though I got Tech 9 and Lil Wayne, that ain't the hottest one I got.
Right.
Believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. And that's a beautiful thing that you come to that realization and have made that happen for yourself.
Yeah, man.
So what do you see yourself doing in the next, 5 years that you want to attack?
So for me, it's I'm pushing my issue as an artist. I've been a producer and a songwriter behind the scenes. So not only did I produce a lot of those songs, I featured on them, or I wrote hooks, or So my thing right now has been pushing my music as an artist because I own 100% of my masters. So my growth as an artist through producing for all these legends and meeting them and soaking up the game. Now I'm going to attack the game as an artist and with ownership. Where I'm just getting publishing and producer advances. Now I can own my whole, I already own the whole infrastructure, but now I own the whole product. I did before. I've been releasing music and putting out music, but I really didn't understand how much that was worth. And the consistency, because I'd be in my head about it. Oh, the mix ain't right. Oh, this, that, And now that I've been releasing it and doing this, like I'm landing on the radio. I'm landing major placements off of my mixes, off of my masters. I'm on Apple Music playlists. I'm on radio stations all across the country based on my mixes. So I'm like, okay, now I just need to be consistent.
That's it.
In releasing.
Keep putting out music.
Because it's like Rich the Factor from Kansas City, he has a saying, it's called intellectual property monopoly. And each one of those pieces of content that you're releasing, I'm sure you know this, is a piece of property in the metaverse. You're uploading it and you don't know, that could turn into that hotel on Broadway.
You really don't know.
You know, one of those songs might, and
Right.
it might not be how you think. It might end up with a sync license in a big movie and you blow up, you know, or you might
Right.
get it in a commercial, or it might just be you have 1,000 songs that do thousands of, you know.
Or you have that one that's got the crazy hook, and all of a sudden you're the hottest thing on TikTok because they're doing dances to the little hook.
Yeah.
And you never know.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of this, is if you keep putting out stuff, you never know where it's going to take you. So my
Right.
question to you is going to be, do you want to place music in TV series and movies and in commercials? Do you want to do that, or do you want that to happen organically?
Yeah, I definitely do. My right now, what I've been learning is the visual side of it. All this, the lights, the camera, which I've toyed with, but now I've really been honing in on mastering the craft of presenting the whole thing. Because nowadays it's about content.
Three-dimensional.
Yeah, it's about content. People want the whole experience. They want to get to know you. They want to see you. And I want to tell stories. I've always told the stories through my music and my visual artwork, but I want to, you know, one thing I want to do is produce documentaries about hip hop in the underserved areas of hip hop, like Kansas City, like the Bay Area. The Bay Area's story in hip hop has really never been told like on a grand scale, you know, visually, you know, in a movie, or, you know, like you think about New York, they had Crush Groove back in the day,
Right.
where all the major stars, all the early New York hip hop stars on Def Jam and, you know, whatever.
Profiles, all that, yeah.
Yeah, they were all showcased in this big and I don't think places like Kansas City or even Detroit or the Bay Area, Memphis right now is finally getting some shine,
Yeah.
but I'd like to visually document this stuff as well. So,
Well, I can't wait to see some of the stuff you're working on, man, because right now you're on fire. Folks is really tapping into you and your sound, and I think you found your sound, which is amazing, because sometimes it takes a while to find your sound.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So keep doing what you're doing, baby.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.